Choose a talent.
Alright, hello and welcome everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Heroes of the Storm A to Z. Of course, my name is Conman. Today, we're going to go from a hero that I absolutely hate to play in Samaro to one that I actually really enjoy. So hopefully this will be a better video. We're going to take a look at Sergeant Hammer. Sergeant Hammer is classified as a range specialist. She's very strong in the right hands and in the right circumstances. Sergeant Hammer really needs to be drafted or put into a team that can protect her. If she's got a strong front line, if she's got a team that can keep people out of her grill, so to speak, she'll do massive amounts of damage and absolutely destroy people. Area of effect denial, it can be ridiculous. If she doesn't have that, she's going to be in for a tough game, and as a result, so will her team. So for starters, nothing too special here. 3,600 health at level 20 sounds about right. 1 attack per second. She does do a decent amount of auto attack damage, and this actually changes depending, because of her trait. The auto attack damage, as you see here, depends on where she's located. Let's talk the trait. Actually, before we get to the trait, let's look at the mount, which is one that she doesn't actually have. So she doesn't have a mount because she's a freaking tank. So what she gets is she gets speed busters, thrusters, speed, thrusters, heyo, boosters, thrusters, busters, whatever. She gets speed thrusters, 30-second cooldown, increase your movement speed by 60% for 4 seconds. Looks something like this. And there she goes. You get this by default whenever you're in the Hall of Storms. This is something this is your only mobility. This is your only mobility. One of the downsides of Sergeant Hammer is a very low mobile hero, and that's one of the reasons why. By default, like big maps, man, they take her forever to get to places. So you want to make sure that you save this cooldown for the right time. You know, if you need to escape, if you really need to get somewhere in a hurry, you know, you can use it. But otherwise, she's a low mobile hero. It's going to give her some trouble with that. Her trait, she's got longer range than most heroes. Sergeant Hammer's basic attack range is 1 further than other ranged heroes, and her basic attacks deal 30% more damage. 30% more damage to enemies that are at least 4 range away. So if you're like shooting point blank, yeah, that's pretty good, you know, 281, there you go. But if you back up and then shoot, now you're at 365. So this goes without saying, is that you want to do all of your damage from range, if at all possible. You know, ideally, the whole point of Sergeant Hammer is to stay as far away from possible and just rain death, upon people. So she's got 3 abilities here. We'll take a peek here. First one is Spider Mines. Create 3 mines that deal 211 damage and slow enemies by 25% for 1.5 seconds. They do something like that. When they get in range, boom. So the damage is nice. It's certainly nice to have the damage, but really the slow will keep you alive. It can be good if somebody's chasing you. You throw. Let me talk cooldowns here. It's fun if like somebody's chasing you. You can throw the mines kind of as you go, and so they arm up. They do take a second or two to arm up, and then when somebody walks by, they're going to get slowed, which will save your butt. Keep them within range of your gun, which is also really nice. Your next ability is Concussive Blast. It deals 322 damage to enemies and pushes them further away. Looks like that. This has got a 12-second cooldown. You don't want, if I didn't press this point enough, you don't want enemies in your face. Not only because you do more damage from further away, but because if your enemies are all up in your grill, you're going to get killed and it's going to be bad. You can use this to knock people away, either from yourself, maybe save some of your team, kind of give everyone just a little bit of an oomph. Make sure that you save this for the right opportunity. I mean, you can hit multiple people. You see I knocked both those guys away. It works on minions, works on mercenaries. I don't think it works on the boss. Yeah, I didn't think so. Boss is usually immune to most of that stuff, but it will work on heroes and mercs and minions and all that fun stuff that goes along with it. So save this for the right opportunity, because this can be the matter of life and death, or whether or not you can, not, especially if you're up against melee fighters, you can knock them away pretty quickly. Lastly, here we go. Here's her bread and butter, Siege Mode. So this is her standout ability. This is what makes Sergeant Hammer Sergeant Hammer. If you've noticed, I've got this big blue targeting area, like that's actually just outside my range of vision. What does this do? So Sergeant Hammer becomes immobile. You get to increase your basic attack range by 5. You deal 25% splash damage, and you deal 30% bonus damage to minions and structures. So it looks like this. Alright, now I can hit that thing. Now you see this is who I'm targeting. I'll get splash damage there, so I'm going to actually drop out. I'm going to come in range of these mercs here. Now you see I'm doing damage to all these guys. They actually don't even... I'm so far out of their range, it leashes them. That's the funny part about that. I would have to actually move in closer. And now they'll come attack me. Now I'm doing, you see that I'm doing damage to everyone in one shot, or at least everyone within the AoE range. So, a couple of things to note about this that people may not necessarily realize. One, the bonus damage only applies to minions and structures. So you'll see here, you know, that's 379. It's still 379. You don't get bonus damage to mercenaries. You will get bonus damage to minions. It makes Hammer really good at wave clear and pushing. You'll get bonus damage to structures in siege mode. So again, you know, Sergeant Hammer is fantastic at pushing lanes, knocking down structures if she's allowed to set up. You do not. The only bonus damage you get to heroes is the splash damage. You do not do bonus damage to heroes. If you're attacking heroes, you don't necessarily need, unless you absolutely need the splash damage, you don't necessarily need to use siege mode to attack heroes. You get the extra range. The range is nice, but you're going to do the same amount of damage from here as you are from here. People don't seem to realize that all the time. You'll get this. You'll get the AoE splash damage, and that's about it. You don't get any basic straight up damage across the board with siege mode. Here's something else that I see people, especially people brand new to Hammer, don't realize. First off, when you're in siege mode, you can't move. Like I'm right clicking here, you can't move. It takes you a second or so to get out of siege mode. Well, if you have your thrusters up, I can toggle Z and it will immediately pull me out of siege mode and I'll be able to jet away. That right there will save your butt so many times. It allows you to just kind of like, oh, I'm in trouble now, I'm gonna run away and bounce out of siege mode. It's a quicker dismount from siege mode, and it gives you the speed thrust, so you're able to get away very quickly. Let's take a quick peek at her ults. Her ults, we're just going to go through. She's got two. One is Napalm Strike. This is a very short cooldown here. It's only 6 seconds. Deals 389 damage on impact and leaves a napalm area that does some damage per second. Looks something like this. Now, its range is just about your siege range by default. So you're going to have this up, you know, it's only one charge, but you're going to have this up often because of the cooldown. I mean, let's look at this here. You're going to have this up just about every time because of the cooldown. It's going to be just consistent damage. It does take a little bit of time to travel to its location, so people are able to avoid it. You know, obviously they're not going to stand in the AoE necessarily. But, you know, it's nice to pick, you know, to do some extra damage to structures, do some extra damage to minions, do something like that. There you go. There's a big chunk of damage. Now I can go like this and bump you back, and now you're going to die. You know, something like that. I can come over here. So let's show you the structures. Okay, so that is, let's just see what it looks like. 425 right there. But if I come over here, now it's 516. I got to knock you away, and you can do something like this. I'm going to drop these mines. I'm going to bail out and go away. So you can use this for just consistent extra damage. I like this heroic a lot. It's not as flashy as the other one, and we'll talk about that in a second. Not as flashy as the other one, but it is consistent damage. It's just, and it's up all the time, so you can use it. You can cast it pretty often. Second one is the BFG. In this case, it's the blunt force gun. 70-second cooldown, so this one's got some time. Fire a missile across the battlefield. Deals damage to everyone in the path. This one is global, and what I mean by global, I'm going to hearth here. What I mean by global is it will go all the way, literally all the way across the map. There's my gun. You can see the icon on the screen. You're going to get vision across the way, and there we go. So this will go all the way across the map. So I'm going to toggle cooldowns here. I'm going to be able to kill Arthas with this if Malfurion doesn't get there first. Here comes the gun. Boom.
Well done.
That's what it looks like from my standpoint. There it is. It's a big-ass gun. Here's the interesting thing. The reason why, I mean, you can obviously hit people from long range with it. It does a lot of damage. The cooldown, you know, it does take a second or two to get to them. I mean, there is a travel time, of course, that they're able to avoid, and it's only going to hit people in the line. Here's why people like this. At level 20, you get something called Orbital BFG. Blunt Force Gun's missile orbits the planet every 5 seconds. So, I'm going to refresh forts. I'm going to go something like this. Alright, I'm going to shoot my gun off. Here's my gun. We're going to fire it. Okay, it does some damage. And it hits Arthas in the way. A couple seconds later, you're going to see this thing's going to come back. If I think I took that talent right, yeah. There it is. There it is again. There's the path. It's going to come right back down. And there it is. Now, there are pros and cons of this. Essentially, what will happen is, as long as I don't redirect it, essentially, the next time I fire it, it'll then like change, and that'll be the new direction over here. But as long as I don't redirect it, which in this case I just did, so I'm going to fire it back there now. But as long as I don't redirect this, ultimately, what will happen is the BFG will slowly whittle away on this fort, whittle away on this keep, whittle away on whatever it's hitting, and it will kill it. It's going to take some time. I mean, we're already like 4 or 5, paths in. It's going to take some time. But it's one of those things that Hammer can do, one of those sneaky ways to just go, okay, I'm going to fire this off, I'm going to get in position, I'm going to fire this off at your fort, and we'll just let it go. Maybe we don't have the push that we need, but we're going to send it down, and the enemy can't really stop that. I mean, maybe they can mule against it, I'm not sure. The con, of course, is that you can't fire it elsewhere. That it's going to be up over there. So, you make sure you try to get this within the line of fire. Like right here, yeah, I'm taking down this keep, but I'm certainly not attacking Arthas. So there are pros and cons. It's kind of a sneaky way. If the game is going super long, you don't get it until level 20. So there's something to consider. BFGs, the flashier, the ones you can, people are going to stand in the line or get grouped up. You can do a lot of damage in a short period of time with it. So there's that. Let's take a quick peek at her talents. We'll talk about her and we'll hop into a game. First off, level 1, Advanced Artillery is really good. Increase the damage bonus to long distance targets by 10%. So I mean, like right here. Okay, so right now we're doing 395 as opposed to 304.
Choose a talent.
Well, now we're doing 425. So you're just getting extra bonus damage. Extra bonus damage is all good. You should be attacking from as long a range as possible at all times. The only alternative that I would personally take is Ambush. I think Ambush is potentially an interesting choice. When you enter Siege Mode, Sergeant Hammer's next basic attack from Siege Mode will deal 100% more damage. So it looks like this. So you stealth. Whoops. Apparently I'm going to see if I can do this again. Okay. I'm going to hop into stealth, maybe. I should probably take the damn thing. There we go. Okay. I know how to play this game. So now I'm in stealth. Now, that's a lot of damage starting off with. Now, you won't keep it. In order to get stealth back, you're going to have to come back into here, and then you'll be able to fire that off. But still, that's a pretty interesting opening salvo. It's going to stack up with some of your other abilities. So that's a potentiality to take. Level 4. Focused attack, super good. Every 10 seconds, your next basic attack against a hero deals 60% additional damage, and your basic attacks are going to reduce this cooldown by 1. So, I mean, that's pretty damn good, even without. Okay, let's go. Let's do Siege Mode. You see that? It stacks with that, with focus attack right there. That's almost 900 damage from Siege Mode. So that has the potential to be pretty solid. But remember, you only get that first shot. That's the only shot that's going to get that damage. Level 4, almost always first aid. Activate to a heal, 35% of your health. It's a 60-second cooldown, but still, self-sustain is awesome. Maybe you take hyper cooling engines, reduce the cooldown of your thrusters. That's nice. That gives you some more mobility. Cuts the cooldown in half. Level 10, you kind of play by ear, see what works for you. I do like Napalm Strike, but I do understand the what you can get out of Blunt Force Gun. At 13, so you got Giant Killer. Giant Killer is very good if you're against some high health heroes. Of course, it is as Giant Killers want to do. First Strike, basic attacks deal 25% more damage if Sergeant Hammer hasn't been attacked within the last 5 seconds. So again, we're just gonna go. We're gonna take First Strike. We're gonna siege up again. We're gonna be in stealth mode. Now we're almost doing 1,000 damage. You can see how that first ambush just stacks up and synergizes with everything else. First Strike's really good. If you're not taking Giant Killer, then First Strike is a solid target. At 16, Executioner, as I always say about Executioner, you need to have heroes that can set you up for this. You could do a lot of damage with it, but you need to have heroes that are going to set you up for this. 2 other really good ones. Hover mode is really fun. What this lets you actually move around very slowly when you're sieged out. Even when you're in stealth, as you can see. So you can actually siege out of range, get in stealth, move into range, and then fire off and hit people. So that one's nice. The other alternative that I also like at level 16 is graduating range. When in siege mode, your attack range will increase slowly. So let's say you get to an objective early, you set up, okay, now watch this. We're going to wait a little, watch this indicator go. There it goes, it extends a little bit, and extends a little bit. So now, I think it extends one more time, there it goes, yeah. So now your range, there is this huge area of range that if you just set up early, look at that extra. You can now control this entire area. People people, in order to get to you, have to come all the way through here in order to actually attack you. If you have a team that can allow you to set up, super, super huge. We've already talked about Orbital BFG at 20. Advanced Lava Strike, Napalm's range is increased, and more damage on impacts, so that's really good. Fury of the Storm, I don't think that's really necessary with Hammer. I think she does enough damage by herself, but if you want to, every 5 seconds your next basic attack will deal an additional damage to non-heroes, minions, mercs, and mercenaries, and monsters. I like Nexus Frenzy otherwise. Increases your attack speed by 20% and your range by 1 and 0.1. You're already up there, so extra range is great. So what do you look out for as Hammer? You need, as I mentioned before, you need a hero that's going to set up in front of you. Like, I want a Diablo, I want an ETC, I want a team that's going to, stun, get some CC, prevent people from getting to me. You just, basically, it's a game of protect the Hammer. Stand in front of the Hammer, make sure no one gets to me, and you don't even have to do damage. You just keep people within range of me, and I will blow them all up. What do you look out for as Hammer? People who can get by that front line. I'm talking Nova. I'm talking Zeratul. Any of those stealthers who can sneak through, you're going to be very squishy, especially if you're caught without your thrusters. Chen might be able to dive in on you, with the flying kick. You need to look out for that. Chromie is Sergeant Hammer's worst nightmare. Chromie is one of the few heroes in the game that are going to outrange you. So if you siege up, basically it's an invitation for Chromie to turn around and just hit you with a combo and blow your face apart. Like, if I get into a game with Chromie, I'm going to be a sad, sad Sergeant Hammer. Like, she will absolutely destroy you. Kael'thas can get a little bit of range on you. If Kael'thas, you can do a lot of damage to him, but he can throw his gravity lapse and then hit you with the flame strike and the living bomb, and that's going to be bad. If Illidan is able to dive in on you, he'll have a field day. He'll be able to evade. Your attack's too slow. He'll kill you before you get a chance to do anything. Maybe you'll have to thruster away. If you're caught without thrusters, you're probably going to be dead. So there are heroes that will, high mobility heroes. As I say, high mobility heroes, you're actually less concerned about Tracer. Tracer, in order to attack you, has to come within your range. Especially if you just sit here, she'll just dance around and you'll just fire away. Like, maybe she can get close and drop her bomb on you, and that could be bad. But I usually don't get too worried about Tracer because your auto attacks are kind of fire and forget, and you just hit. And you do more damage to her than she really does to you unless she's built it up pretty quickly. Especially if you've got, especially if you take, first aid at level 7, so you'll be able to heal through some of it. So, what is your job as Hammer? Just push. You want to make sure you stay in position. You don't necessarily need to siege up unless you absolutely have to, or you're going to be safe. But let your team, you can completely control an objective if you get there and just don't get attacked. You'll own the map, and you'll see Hammer games where you get that setup, and she will just do ridiculous amounts of damage. It's kind of crazy. When I play against Hammer, what do you want to do? I mean, Alarak can actually be potentially bad. If Alarak has got his cooldowns up, Alarak can kind of stand in, can kind of walk in, he can take a shot or two, and then he'll pull you in with telekinesis, hit you with Discord Strike, can follow up with the lightning, and then that's it, you're in his range. You're now silenced, you can't thrust her away, so you got to be careful about that, and if you're silenced, then you're going to be in range of the enemy team, so Alarak can be potentially something that you want to watch out for, because he can pull you across. Anybody who has CC like that, you need to look out for. You just want to keep them away and out of your grill. Otherwise, as long as you are here and the enemy team is here, you win, is really what it comes down to. It's pretty simple. Hammer can be fun to play. She just needs someone to set her up. Every really super good Hammer game I've had, it's because I've had a team that just covered my ass and allowed me to do what Hammer does best. So let's hop into that game and talk about that and see what we can do.
Just got her washed. Ready to roll out.
All right. Hopefully this will be a quicker queue. I like this skin as well. This is, I think, the Doom Hammer, whatever it is. All right, so we've got a Cho'Gall, a Leoric, and an Alarak. All right. So not much in terms of hard CC. Alarak has telekinesis, Leoric has the slow, and Cho'Gall is just in the way of things. And on Battlefield of Eternity, so it's a 2-lane map, so thankfully that works out for Cho'Gall. What do we have here? What do I need to watch out for? Samaro can get in, he can stealth through, that could be troublesome. I can outrange Jaina, but if she gets in range, that's a problem. I do want to watch out for Artanis' pull. If he gets the the dash and the pull on, bad news for me. Cassia can actually eat a lot of my damage because it's all auto attack damage, and she's got the buff against auto attack damage. So this could be an interesting matchup for me. I don't know if I'm going to do as well as I would like, but thankfully most of these guys, I mean, these guys are all semi-range, range, semi-range at least. Most of them are like that. So I'm hoping that if Leoric and Cho'Gall can keep Artanis out, then I just really got to worry about Samaro. I can do some nice damage to the Immortal, assuming I can stay out of the range of the stun and everyone leaves me alone. Alternatively, I could just go push. You know, you do pretty well with that, but thankfully we do have a Cho'Gall on a 2-lane map. I think Cho'Gall does better there than he would on a 3-lane. Somebody's internet might be breaking because we're taking a long time to load. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Alright. So our team is in, and we should be popping into this game any moment now. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to start off at level 1. I'm not going to bother with ambush. I don't think this is a good map for it. I'm going to go with advanced artillery. Alright, we're going to have 2 people come down here. I don't want to be alone is really what it comes down to. So if Cho'Gall's going to go top, I'm down with that. I can hang out with these guys. I can do that too.
We're starting this thing in 10 seconds.
I forgot I actually picked up the Sergeant Hammer announcer. This is my first time playing with the Sergeant Hammer announcer. I hope it's not confusing.
4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the hammer.
That's funny. Alright, here we go. We're gonna see, look how slow I am compared to the rest of the team because I don't have the mount. I'm doing it purposely. I don't want to use my ability, my thrusters right away. So you gotta be careful. Like, I don't really need to siege up. Like, I don't need to siege up there. What I want to do, I can go in and get some fire off. I want to leave here, get slowed. There's Samaro up here. Just knock you away. Now here I can siege up. Here I can siege up. I can do damage to the clone, and I can take out these minions pretty quickly. There's some damage to that. So at this point, anybody who comes into this range is just going to get bombarded. And there we go. Now they do know where I am now, because they can see me because I'm firing on them. Yeah, so I want to watch. I'm going to bail out of that. See Cassia made a beeline for me, and that's the smart plan.
This'll be a blast.
Whoops, that's ringing. I want to watch out of that. See, look at that. Look at the protection that Cassia has against me because of her trait. There's a little splash damage. That's Leoric getting killed. That is unfortunate.
I got this.
I shall purge your evil from this
Whoops.
demon.
That was my fault. I walked into that too much. I'm going to tap the well. Alright, so we're going to have an interesting battle here. I'm going to take the long way up. So Cho'Gall is going to come up here. We're already losing pretty badly. This is going to be some trouble. I want to get there as quick as possible. Yep, that's going to be tough. We may need to defend. These guys are going to be down there in the bottom. I don't know what's going on with that. So hopefully Cho'Gall can defend. I'm going to get stunned, and that's going to be not so great. Well, I'm just going to try. Are you going to do it again? Ah, oh, you son of a bitch.
Double whammy.
Alright, alright. I'm asking to get killed, honestly, by just staying here. We're gonna lose the Immortal. So I think their Samara was burning it down pretty quickly. At this point, I just want to take it down as much as possible. Oh, and I got stunned again. Yeah, not solid play for my part on the hammer. I do want to watch out for the stuns. I really don't even need to be in siege mode, to be honest. I can just kind of stand there and move around. You know, siege mode doesn't do bonus damage. Now that I think about it, it's not going to do bonus damage to that, so I really don't need to be in siege mode.
I never tread lightly.
You know what? I am gonna head over there. Normally I would leave that first one alone, but with Sylvanas pushing, it could be trouble. So let's head down that way and help out.
This'll be a blast.
Alright, Sylvanas goes down. Good job, Alarak.
Valiantly done.
Good job, team. Alright, that's good. That's solid. We got 2 kills out of that. We lost the fort, or we lost the wall, pardon. But we didn't really lose anything else. Now, they are pushing up top, so that is potentially bad. That was close. Now, here's where I can outrange these towers, and I can just... I'll blow them up. Do damage to this wall. We're gonna trade pushes. Now, if he pulls me, he just killed himself, basically, because he pulled himself out of position. Uh-oh. Now I'm in trouble. I'm in siege mode. I was in siege mode. I don't know what happened there. I got caught. I think I went out and then back into siege mode. I'm not sure what happened there. That was my fault. Should definitely have bailed out. We're going to want to make sure... There we go. There's a good kill. We're going to want to make sure we either get this fort or that we go up here, because Sylvanas is just going to tear it up. I'm going to come up here this way, though, and see what I can do. She's definitely taking some damage, which would be great. Just let her. I just want her to bail out. I'm not gonna kill her. I'm not gonna be able to kill her. Just, you know, have her bail out. There we go, just like that. Just to protect this fort just a little bit.
In my sight.
Are you ready, heroes? We approach your position.
Missed me. I was hoping she was going to teleport into that. That would have made me a happy guy.
You and all your servants in hell will
Got her.
burn before me.
Yep, she stuck around too long. She blew her escape. I'm gonna use first aid and heal a little bit. Okay, so Sylvanas is dead. I'm gonna slowly make my way over here. I don't want to be in siege mode. Get me out of siege mode. That's the last thing I want to do. Great kill on Artanis. That was fantastic. Alright, there's somebody coming up behind me. Yep, there you are. Have some mines. I do need to watch out for that. Where's my team? My team is... I don't know where they went. I don't know why my team is way over here. I think my team kind of hung me out to dry on that one. I don't know where they went. They really should... I thought they were going to be there. But that's what happens when you get caught. That's the downside of Hammer. Once you get caught, you have no mobility whatsoever.
Be warned, allies. I move to new ground.
All right, let's head across. We're gonna head out. I didn't see where these guys are gonna end up, so it looks like the good one is gonna end up over here. I'm on my way, folks.
In my sight.
Oh, where are we?
Well, you're dead. Don't take it personal.
Come on, man.
Choose a talent. Let's go. Fight your way. Absolutely.
Good job, Alarak. We're gonna head back over to this fort. I'm gonna siege up, just because I'm waiting for these minions to come over here, and then I want to get the splash damage, but I might need to bail out of siege mode if this guy's gonna AoE. I didn't see where that was.
Oh, man, we've lost a fort.
Can you...
Well done, heroes. But we must be cautious. The demon shall rise again.
Nope, don't want to let you do that.
More pressing affairs deserve my attention.
It's what I do. Oh, napalm.
Oh, that sucked. Wanted to hit that.
Find these mercenaries into our
Delighted to,
service.
sir.
Go and attack him, buddy. There you go. Thank you.
It's what I do. Proceed.
Excellent.
So we're down a fort. Their bottom fort is low. Our top fort is low. So we want to be careful about that. I'd like to get a push and just take this fort down right now.
Delighted to, sir.
I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. Yeah, we will. Okay, very good. Just going to siege up there.
Oh, man. There goes one of them.
So Artanis used his ult on me, which is smart, because that means I have to bail out, and I'm very slow. So you saw it did some initial damage to me. I'm going to throw these mines down just in case.
Napalm. Oh, music to my ears.
Prepare yourselves. I will reach your position shortly.
Oop, that was close. We're going to bail to that. I don't want to... We're going to lose our top fort. We did lose our top fort.
Heading back for a tune-up. In my sights.
I fight for the glory of the high heavens.
Boom time! Let's rain down some hellfire!
So Cho'Gall got killed on the bottom. He probably was pushing there way too hard.
Do not wait for me.
Delivering.
Here we go. We're just going to hang out here. We're going to try and do as much damage as possible. Looks like we're going to lose the race again, man. Samaro is just tearing it up.
This'll be a blast.
Hello, friends. I am blocked to hell, and I'm dead. Yep, that was a good. That was a good face prism. I got body blocked to all kinds of hell. Yeah, not a good. I don't think our team is playing it that well. I don't think our team is playing it that well. I do think we got the right talents to start with, though. We'll hope it's 16. Hopefully, when we get to 16, Cho'Gall will tear it up.
I never tread lightly.
They've got a 2-level lead on us, though. 1-level lead, just about 1 and change. They're gonna get to 16 before we get to 15, however. Hello, friends. This might have been one where Blunt Force Gun worked out. I don't know. I'm gonna stand back here. This guy's gonna walk forward in a second. Come on, come on, come on. Or maybe you're not. Like. There we go.
Say goodnight.
Good kill on Jaina. I didn't even see what's going on over there.
You are not as
We lost Cho'Gall again.
Choose a talent.
There is 16. We're going to take graduating range. We're going to come up here.
Again, short.
Yeah, they just have way too much push.
Fort's been trashed.
And we're not countering it. Come on.
Rest in pieces. Enemy slain.
Chase her down.
It's what I do. Kablamo! Delighted to, sir.
They're going to take that camp. They're going to be able to do that pretty easily. I'm just going to hang out, make sure we're okay.
Drop the hammer.
I would love to come up here and take this camp.
Rock and roll.
I am on my way, mortals. Be ready.
Jaina goes down. That's nice. I like it. I like it.
Affirmative.
I'm going to hang out here for a moment. I don't know where this thing is going to start off at. Let's just stay here in the hope that it spawns one of these two.
Repent before
That is
my
not where
wrath,
it spawned.
demon.
Okay.
Proceed. In my sight.
We're going to give this a second. Okay, so Cassia just went down. I believe if I stay here, there we go. Now I'm going to get range on this. So I can stay here. So I'm basically going to control this whole area.
I must leave, and I blame this failure upon you.
Enough! I seek better ground.
Are you going to go here? Where are you going to go? I didn't see where you're going to end up. I'd love if you just end up right here. That'd make me a happy guy. Nope.
Move it or lose it.
So there we go. That's what I was saying. Once you get to 16, Cho'Gall was going to do some work. I'm going to get stunned. Yep. I really should be using Napalm Strike much more often.
Look alive. Our core's under attack. Heading back
It is
for a
time for
tune-up.
a new strategy.
Proceed. Fire from the sky.
Oh, why did you leave? Why did you leave it? Oh, man. Finish that thing off. I'm going to come up here and push this wave.
Absolutely.
There we go. Okay.
Drop the hammer.
That sucked. It's going to come top anyway now.
Choose a talent.
So at level 20,
Glory
we're going to take Nexus
reigns
Frenzy.
in this land.
So this guy doesn't need to Hearth. He just needs to use... I hope he took the right talent. Yeah, he just needs to use Surging Dash a bunch more.
The wickedness of hell.
Alright, I'm going to be careful.
trembles before me.
I want to stand up like right around here.
Oh, music to my ears.
Let's just take this down as quick as possible.
Napalm. Light up my life. That's an explosion. Nothing left.
Cassia goes down. That's pretty sweet. I like it. We're going to drop this right in here. We're going to set up shop. And with the range, you see I got the range up now. Now I'm able to take down the fort, or the keep. No problem. Able to take down the healing well with no problem. This thing has still got plenty of health. We do, you know, we've got the potential for a game. Artanis goes down. I can just hang out right here. That's going to come right through me, but that's fine. I've got range. Nothing can touch me. GG. There we go. We hit our power spikes at 16. and we turned the tide with it. Look at Summer was trying to take our core. I like it. Good games, sirs. Good games. Yeah, we will give him some props there. I think Cho'Gall picked it up at 16. See, unlike Samaro, my hammer I play often, at least oftener, at level 11. And when you look at the stats, I'm sure I've got the most siege damage. Yeah, I do by quite a bit of a margin. Most damage to the Immortal. Hooray! You know, at the end of that, their Samaro was actually heading down to try and try and attack our core. So we got lucky there that we were able to pick them off. So what went well there? We started off tough. You know, we got a lot of kills, but we lost all the early Immortals and we lost a lot of push. I think it really needed. I think two things happened. One, at 16, we had the power spike for Cho'Gall at 16 when it really made it hard to kill them. And then at that point, we kind of just rolled from there. We also, I think we did a little bit better job of staying grouped up together once we hit the 13-16 range, where in the beginning we were spread out a little bit. I got picked off a bunch in the beginning, completely my fault. Artanis had a couple of good pulls in me, which put me in a bad spots. I think at one point I got picked off by Samaro, and it was absolutely I'm like, here I am. I'm completely he caught me. He caught me, and props to him. Nothing. Ugh, can't speak. No doubt about that. But yeah, that's the siege damage that Hammer can do. I didn't have the team that was good. I didn't have as strong of a front line as I would have hoped for as Sergeant Hammer. But toward the end, you see, once you get that Immortal going, you just kind of stand behind it, and you're able to blow stuff up at a much quicker pace. A couple of kills. I think most of it was just being able to take down things. It's what it was. It was just one of those games that you go, man, that was a hard game to win. It was well fought. I think it could have gone either way. Look at the talents. So level 1, Advanced Artillery, increase the damage bonus to long-range enemies by 10%. To long-distance enemies, yeah, same thing, by 10%. Focused attack every 10 seconds. Your next basic attack against a hero deals 60% additional damage. Basic attack will reduce this. Took first aid at level 7. Napalm Strike. Should have cast it a little bit more often. I think when I first got it, I was saving it for some stupid reason, but I started casting it more later on. 13 First Strike. Basic attacks deal 25% more damage if you haven't been attacked within the last 5 seconds, so that's nice. At 16, Graduating Range. You kind of set up shop, you put yourself in a position. This was the point where Cho'Gall was really stopping them off, and had they come up there, I was in a completely safe range. I think you saw at the very end what that can do, where you set up way behind everything. They have to come through your entire front line to get to you, or somehow spend the time walking around the back. And in the meantime, you just have this huge amount of range that they are not able to get through. And then at 20, Nexus Frenzy. At that point, the game was kind of over, but we ran with it anyhow. And that's the game. Just about 18 minutes. That's Hammer. She needs protection, but otherwise, once you have that, you can set up shop and you can go to town. The Immortals are tough. I didn't need to, improvements. I didn't need to siege up for that first Immortal. I was sieged up and I basically ate 4 stuns, which was my fault completely because I don't get any bonus damage from the stuns, or from the sieging. You really should kind of just walk around outside of siege mode and move pot shots to give you the mobility to avoid the stuns when necessary. At the end, the last one I sieged up because I used the Graduating Range to kind of make sure I cut off people who happened to come into my position. But it worked out. It worked out. Again, not the A+ pro game that I was hoping for, but it definitely was a win, and I will take a win. I'm happy with that. I think that's 2 in a row, maybe now, maybe 3 in a row, a couple in a row. I'm down with that kind of situation. Anyhow. My name's Conman. Let me know what you think. Thanks very much for watching, and take care.